Hello, friends. I am back. I am back with a new series with new concept. This time, no presentation, no panel discussion. It's an open discussion on the safety. I will tell you the reasons for starting this series. 40 people are losing their life every day on records. And at the same time, 5 times people means in a one if one people lose the life, 5 person connected with them also become victim sufferer. That means 200 people in a day. In short, 15,000 deaths in a year and 75,000 people who suffers. And the same thing has been repeated by respected PPY so many times. We don't take safety seriously. It is taken for granted always. There are safety regulations, CA safety regulation, there are NEC code 2023, safety regulation 2023. Many other codes are available. They are well in place. But the issue is lack of awareness, mindset to implement. In short, catch 22 situation, because without implementations and taking care of all these regulations we have, we can't achieve our mission. We can't get the safety outside, and we can't make my nation, my country free of electrical and fire accidents. There is acute need to change the mindset. When it comes to safety implementation, that should be cherry picked. That means we have to choose something with great care and select only the best equipments available. We must have good designing team, designing people to design the system to avoid the catastrophic effects of fire, short circuit, and other accidents. Safety issue is not a new issue. It is like an elephant in the room. It is visible to everyone, but everyone just want to ignore it. Now time has come. It is a very high time to look at that elephant in the room and start talking and discussing about that elephant in the room. Considering that above facts, I am here with new series of open discussion on electrical safety that will continue till we get the answers we have of all the questions we have and achieve our targets to make my nation, my India, free of electrical accidents and fires. I would like to thank all the participants who have joined. 14 participants are here right now. And this is the very first step towards journey of 1,000 miles. I am quite sure the more people will join our mission, and that will propagate. Now to start that open discussion, my very first point is why there is no adequate safety at site. What do you think are the common causes? Kindly raise your hand and switch on your camera when you start speaking. There is one icon of raise hand. Kindly press that one so that we can understand who has done that thing. At icon, there's 5-6 icon. You just press the raise hand icon and switch on your camera. Anandji, I think you want to say something. Kindly unmute yourself. Ramdhani, just allow Anand Saab to say something. Sir, please unmute yourself. And
So the biggest problem,
yeah,
where the safety is concerned,
yes,
is
sir.
only due to the lack of awareness by the officers involved.
Okay,
Officers don't put due emphasis on the safety at the site.
true.
They compromise. Hence, the contractors taking the liberty that officer is obliged by him, they take on the further that they dilute the safety measures, and slowly it became habit that no safety measures are coming up. Once the management or the officers involved are totally committed towards the safety, like we do in a certain big EPC contractors, they have total safety protocols being followed. Like we did a work in ONGC, they had a very stringent safety controls, and it was being followed. But other sites they don't follow. The officers are lenient, too lenient, just want the work done. So it all falls upon the regulating authority to maintain the safety precautions. It is not on the contractor. Contractor will always try to find a shortcut to move on and make fast money, or to cheap uneconomical price to a certain job. But it is the officer's duty to make it follow the safety precautions and the standards. But they are not doing their job. That is the problem in India, where the main problem starts where.
Okay. I would like to ask one question. You have been working with many government and private agencies. My question is, what do you think all the officers involved in that particular job in a private sector, government sector, do they really read the regulations available in place? They have knowledge or they don't read the regulations available? Anansa, kindly unmute yourself. Yeah.
Sir, all the officers I have seen through, from the private sectors or the big EPC contractors or the government bodies, most of the officers are ignorant to the and the standards and the safety procedures or whatever it may be. Many places I have seen gone through where the officers are totally ignorant and they ask the contractor what is to be done,
Okay. Okay.
because the proper skill has not been passed to them, and they are a very new entrant in this field, and they become immediately are they given the project site.
Okay.
Like in L&T, I have seen these things. We had to do work in the Delhi Municipal Corporation NDMC, where exothermic welding was had to be performed. Most of the officers didn't knew what exothermic welding is. So all kinds of flouting with the safety precautions were being done during the execution of that job.
In short, there is acute need to train officer also, and they have to make aware about the standards in place so that they will be able to implement that standard during execution.
Yes, they has to be trained. The officers should be trained. Like for example, if TRI is not well equipped or not trained, how they can regulate the telecom authority?
True.
Likewise, the electrical inspector, we hardly see him or know him where he is. In 5 years, we see his face. So the officers are not competent enough to do the job. They should be trained first.
And you are talking about only officers. What do you think about the contractors working in that area? Don't you think they are equally responsible for all this mishappening?
So, yes, there is a issue when you have a strict policeman guarding the traffic post, all follows the traffic rules. And if he is absent from the traffic post, the traffic goes haphazard. Simple example, sir. This is
But
the Indian mentality.
this is Indian mentality, but we have to change that mentality. We have
It
to
can,
take that very first step. We have to lead by an example. Suppose you get a contract and the officer concerned are not familiar with the regulations, don't you think it is also your duty to work for the nation and do actually as per the regulations and provide a good quality? Because finally we are working for a nation.
When the nation is following a procedure of L1, where all sorts of compromises are made to achieve that L1 category, when the officers and the purchasing authority themselves know that it is an undercost they are going to give this tender, how you expect a contractor to follow the norms and procedures laid out in the law?
Okay.
You
Now,
yourself must have faced this situation many times.
true. Now I would like to invite another person who would like to add something or say something in favor or want to counter something, anything asked by Anandji. It's a open forum for everyone to speak. Kindly unmute. Raise your hand first. Any point to be?
The most important point, what I feel like,
Yeah.
if any tender which is going below par, it should be abolished and retendered. Because if somebody is going to give you a product below the price what you have estimated, it means you are going to get some sort of substandard product. By hook or crook, he will just push it out.
That is a different question related to the policy making and
Yes, that is the thing. Then we are talking about safety and security and about norms to be followed. Then it is our policy making.
yeah. You are right.
And if commercially not viable, how can you follow safety precautions and everything?
Yeah.
To follow a safety precaution, the cost of the tender goes up by near of 15 to 20%.
Yes. Nagendra Shekhar ji has raised a hand,
Yes.
and he's the very right person to answer because he's from distribution company and can answer it. Please.
Uh, Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good
And
evening.
thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. I believe what Mr. Anand is telling is quite right, that we are ignorant at all levels. So when the person who is at the top of the pyramid, at higher position, higher rank, he can implement things much better than the person who is at the bottom of the pyramid. Number one. So I agree about this with him. But when we talk about that the people are incompetent or they are ignorant, I'm not agreeing with that. Reason being, uh, in India, we have every kind of culture. Culture means the organization where safety is utmost taken care at paramount. The organization where safety is least prioritized. So both kind of organization, and there are lot many in between. There are some organization where safety is considered on papers only. There are organization where safety are considered okay kind of thing. But I am taking two extremes. One where safety is on paramount, and the all aspects of safety are taken care, even ratings like ISO are taken care, and well established procedures are there. The people, workmen, engineers are trained for the safety, and monitoring is also being carried out. And the very same contractors, very same engineers, when work for other organization, the safety standards are relaxed, are considered leniently. So it's about the organizational culture. And in India, we have everything very costly except the life, because
Very
we
true.
don't have many stringent laws for penalties or insurance claims against any accidents. So that's why some organizations, specifically petty contractors and the small time contractors, they don't care of that because safety has a cost. We have to purchase personal protective equipment. We have to take care of proper labor, proper tools, and the other gears, which definitely cost. And the culture of petty contractors, specifically in some electricity boards and organization, where a certain amount has been allocated or work is awarded for certain amount, and that main contractor delegate that contract to some other petty contractor, neither he is well educated, nor have any license, nor have any liability towards anything, because main contractor is liable, but he is getting work done through some petty contractors, and they don't care except their profits, because already margins are taken by the main contractors. So at lowest margin, when they are working, they are ignoring the safety aspects, not unintentionally, but intentionally also. So that we have to make certain checks and balances. And above all, as I agreed with Mr. Anand, that at some level, it has been ignored knowingly. Either we are overloaded, our engineers are overloaded, or we don't have that much of number of electrical inspectors or safety officers which can inspect sites frequently, or they just remain silent by completing paperwork. So that culture we need to change. There will nobody who will come from outside India or outside the organization
Very
who
true.
will bring this change. The change starts from me, myself.
Great,
So
great,
I
great.
have to change myself. I believe in that.
Nagendraji,
Thank you.
because you are representing distribution company of capital of India, I would like to ask one question. What, according to you, steps to be taken to make my India free of accident? I want to hear from you. What are the steps do you think to be taken right now? Nagendraji, please unmute and
Thank you, Rajesh ji. Though I am working in distribution company for last more than 30 years,
yeah,
regarding steps, we all are aware, all organization, all electricity boards throughout the India, because I have visited many.
yes,
They have training culture, they have training centers, they have training curriculum. So first of all, we have to enhance training. Second, we have to ensure preventive maintenances, because the major reason, if you will check, the absence of grounding, improper earthing, improper grounding, improper connection, improper protections, that result in accidents. So if we ensure proper protections for our network, proper protection gears that we call personal protective equipments, and third is procedures. We need these three things, and definitely we will be able to make India accident free, specifically electricity utilities. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for your comments and views. Now, I would like to start with new query, new question in coming to my mind. We talk about safety and what I feel the charity starts from home. That means we have to be attentive at my home when I start big things about safety. Now, my next question related to safety is how many of the participants sitting here are observing or following the safety regulations at home? That means how many of the participants available have ever checked the type of MCB they are using in their house? Please. Please feel free to answer that thing. And how many of you have started using the RCD recommended by regulations? Kindly unmute. Dr. Kishan Kumar, I would like to hear from you. I need honest answer. And kindly switch on your camera first.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about the safety. Sir,
Welcome.
actually, as I'm also working in this electrical installation sector, what I see in general when the tender comes, it has some specific makes and specific rating of switch gears only.
Okay.
They do not include the earthing in it. What are the C class, D class components should be? Let I talk about a DENREL. That is a MCB channel at which we have
Right.
to mount the MCB.
Okay.
What panel builders are doing, what Anand sir have said, because of the low values पे जो टेंडर उठे एक्चुअली, तो क्या होता है कि सर एक्चुअली local manufacturer C class, G class components or earthing which is not included in the tender with specific make and specific ratings, they use that type of material. I have seen this problem in a panel.
Dr. Saab, now
Yes,
currently you are at your home, if
yes,
I'm
sir.
not wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you checked the type of MCB class of cables being used in your home?
Sir, MCBs are correctly used, but
What type
wire
of
I cannot.
MCB is being used in your house?
Type C they have used,
Type
and
C.
it is yes, sir.
And are you
Quite
using
heavy.
RCD?
No, sir. Actually, it's a flat, and we don't have space to add the RCD in
Have
that
you
panel.
checked the availability of what I have done? I have made that video many times and circulate that video. Have you checked the
Yes,
availability of it?
actually, at my hometown, I have installed RCD properly, but
Okay.
here I'm residing in a flat, and actually
Don't
I
you
cannot.
don't you think the safety is also required in this
Yes,
flat?
sir. This flat is it, because my small child are also living with me. So here the safety is more important. But actually,
We have to change that culture.
yes,
We
sir.
should not
Exactly.
think at that particular place safety is good, but here the safety is not required. That mindset I want to change. Wherever you go, you have to look at the safety first. If you're not sure, you have to ensure that the safety is available. Then you have to start working.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, Poonam ma'am. Yeah, kindly unmute and switch on your camera, ma'am. You want to say something? You are a consultant for many companies. It's very high time to listen from you what is happening actually in the field. Poonam Dogra ma'am. Please unmute. You please unmute and switch on your camera also. That is required for Ramdhani. Please allow ma'am, Poonam Dogra ma'am, to switch on the camera as well as unmute.
Good evening, all.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yes, please.
Sir, I'm using B-type MCB in my home.
Okay.
So I'm residing flat. So here they haven't
Are you
used
using RCC?
RCCB.
Okay. Now question is different for you because you are the consultant working as a consultant for many industries. What is the actual situation in the field? And what are the problem being faced by you as a consultant?
Sir, in factories or in warehouses, wherever I go, they haven't used circuit breakers of the rating required.
Right.
Many of them have connected one MCB and connected many cables to the same MCB.
Yes.
This is the process. And neutral link is not connected. They have just connected cable with that cable. Again, joints are taken. So like this, they have done. So this is a big problem I see. And with that, earthing is not proper. People are less bothered about earthing. And such problems I see regularly.
And what do you suggest how to get rid of that problems we are facing and make India accident free?
So for that, I think the person who have made the BOQ or the factory should have a regular safety checkup, so that a well-known, well-educated, experienced electrical person can see the premises and check whether they have done the proper thing, whether their rating of MCB and cables are okay. And with that, many problems like they don't know how their connection have been done. So some SLD need to be made. So that can be a better way to see how things are being connected, how your electrical system is being connected. So this is, and what I have experienced, that people are ready to invest money on everything on other than electricals.
True.
So
This is the reason I am here. This is the reason I am here.
yeah, sure. So I too try to educate people
Now,
on
coming
this.
to the next common cause of hazard is use of temporary electric cord we are using at home in factories. I would like to know your views on that. How that temporary extension cord, how to use it, how to choose the rating, and how to ensure safety when using it. Please, I think Jitender's there's one person. Kindly unmute. I couldn't see the full name here. Jitender, I think. Yeah. Please, you can raise your hand.
Yes, sir. You're listening me, sir. I'm
Yes,
audible.
yes, welcome.
Okay, very good afternoon, good evening, and the nice topic you have explained. And then, previously, what you asked regarding the MCB and ELCB,
Yes,
let me tell you that these are the protective devices the consumer have to use it. Actually, the accident which are happening in consumer premises, that can be restricted to the certain extent.
True.
And these devices are means operating on the two mode. One is the voltage operated, that is called ELCB, earth leakage circuit breaker. Suppose any ladies in the house, she is going to make her mixer on, and unfortunately mixer is the device is not operating or faulty one. At that moment, just when going to start, immediately if there will be ELCB in their premises, it will not start, it will trip the supply. And this is because of the body of that means you can say body of the device, which is directly connected to the third earth through the ELCB, earth leakage circuit breaker, that is we are calling. And secondly, there are some kind of the over voltage or leakage in the current. This leakage in the current are because of now we are seeing that in a modern society, the consumers are using the underground fitting. And in underground fitting, when they have done the fitting by any electricians, and after 2 or 3 years, if they want to to install any photo frame in their house, they are just bring the drill machine, they are going to drill. But they are unknown that behind that wall might be there is electrical wiring. And if that drill needle touches the insulation of that wire, that insulation has damage. And
Yes.
there was the leakage current. And for that leakage current, there is availability of the RCCB, residual circuit current breaker, we can say. And that is operating up to 30 milliampere. Now, the third one, now in the modern era, as we are making advancement in the electrical safety. Now there are certain situations, in that situation, the wiring which the consumer has used, that have the limit of 5 ampere or 10 ampere, you can say. If continuously he is using the load more than 10 ampere, then that wire heat up. The wire is getting heat up. And due to the continuous heating, the insulation damages, and that may be melted with the other corresponding wires, surrounding wire, beside wire. You can say if three-phase supply is there, then it will touches to the other phase. If single phase, it will touches to the neutral earth wire. And it may probably then causes the fire inside the circuit. So in order to avoid the fire, then in market there is the availability of the AFDD, arc fault detection device.
Right.
Now, this arc fault detection device, it plays the major role. It can avoid the accident due to the over voltage, due to the overcurrent, due to the leakage, and due to the arc. So we should, and it is also recommended by the international as well as Indus standard. At present, the standard, I think 6028141 something, or I will share you later on. If public, if you are making aware to the contractor, to the builders, and to the consumer, when they are going to build up their home, at that moment they have forcefully to use such protective device. In Maharashtra, Maharashtra government, which is run by the electrical inspector department, they have made compulsion as per CA regulation. Central Electricity Authority regulation is there. If consumer is using the load more than 2000 watt,
Sir, you are muted. Your voice is not coming. Sir, your voice is not coming.
he is not educated.
I think there are some technical issues. Your voice is not coming. It's okay right now.
तुला ते मोठं गोत्याचा आवडला का लंड तुला गोत्याचा लंड आवडला काय गोत्याचा लंड आवडला तुला तुला त्या गोत्याचा आवडला काय झवाडे
Sir, there's some technical problem at your end. Okay, the very valid point expressed by sir, and I would like to elaborate the points. I would like to mention here that on 8th of June 2023, there was one regulation was published that is called CA Regulation for Safety. If you look at that regulation, it talk about earthing in 4-5 regulation 17, it talk about in 18, it talk about in clause 43 regulation 43, it talk about RCD in regulation 44, and it clearly mentioned that for residential purpose the 30 milliampere RCD to be used. For earthing, regulation 74 substations also applicable. For protection against lightning, regulation 77 is there. Guard wire is covered under clause regulation 72. And apart from that, he mentioned another good thing, that is AFDD, arc flash detection device. Now we have another more regulation in place that is called NEC. And if you look at clause number 14 of CS safety regulation, it says that it is mandatory to use NEC regulation, National Electric Code 2020-23. RCD, AFDD, all these devices are covered in section number 1 related to safety. And when we talk about the safety, it has 3 things to do. We have to look at the 3 things. We have to provide the basic protection, then we have to provide protection against fault, then we have to provide some additional protection. All these 3 things are very well covered in NAC section 1. Chapter number 1, and there are 22 sections, and I think in 16 or 15, this is very well covered. Now I would like to go to next point, loose connection at home. It is also one of the cause of inviting fire. Now I would like to know your view of the attendees, how to prevent electric fire due to loose connection. Kindly raise your hand and Umesh Gupta ji is here. Yeah, I would like to get benefit of his presence. Kindly unmute, sir. And share your view on loose connection because you are in the EHV section and you are facing problem because of that one. Umesh Gupta, sir. Kindly switch on your camera, sir, and unmute yourself. Umesh Gupta ji. Ramdhani, kindly unmute Umesh Gupta ji.
Sir, I have unmuted.
Umesh Gupta ji, I think there's some technical issues. Any other person want to say on the loose connection and the fire? Yes, Mubarak Khan ji. Yes. Kindly unmute Mubarak Khan ji and say something about loose connection in the field and how to avoid fire. One of the main cause of electrical fire. Mubarak Khan ji.
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Narendra.
Yeah, Naren sir, please welcome. Welcome.
Yeah,
Sir.
in fact, the loose connections of a residential segment, it can be easily traceable with the flickering of bulbs. And sometimes during night times, if you switch on the switchboards, there might be some spark beneath the switchboards and everything. We can identify that. That is one way of identifying the loose connections. And one more thing is frequent failure of 230-volt gadgets like all the residential loads. If we have the complaint stating that all the refrigerator is burnt out or something like that, or geyser, all these single base loads will come into this category. We can identify the loose contacts. So 99% of the residential segment, in my experience of 25 years, so I observed the incoming neutral from the DISCOM is comparatively tightened by the corresponding lineman and somebody else. But whereas the outgoing neutrals distributed in the distribution board, most of the electricians are not using the neutral link in a proper way. See, the distribution boards will be kept at the time of plastering. By that time, the electricians or the so-called electrical contractor or the builder or a consumer doesn't aware of that it has to be kept at the end of the wiring pattern. So in place of misplacement, in the case of misplacement of these materials, these things again need to be brought down from the market and refix the things in a perfect way. So these people are tying all the outgoing neutrals and incoming neutral with the tape and running joints. This makes a lot of hindrance to the loose contact of the neutral connection.
Very true.
So that much, that's the thing. We can check all these things before energizing the residential building or during the execution, or I mean, at the time of problem identification also. First step, we should come to the distribution board where incoming neutral and the outgoing neutrals are tightened fastly or not. We need to check it.
Great, sir. Great. Very, very well explained.
Sometimes in this, I would like to add one more thing. there is one concept called floating neutral. I think you can explain about this for the viewers, not in this, at any next this thing.
You
That
are
is the
talking about-
major floating neutrals.
Yeah. I can explain right now. Not a big issue.
That is also accountable, sir.
Yeah.
Because in recently 2
Mhm.
to 3 days back itself, where I'm residing in the layout, this
Yeah.
is purely totally
Sir, you are muted.
thunderstorm and rainy season, the transformer neutral is not correctly maintained. Because
True.
of that, there is line fault that has been brought into the all the residential houses, wherein refrigerators, TVs all got burnt out.
True.
Few loads which are not in the supply, those things also got burnt out. If I am correct, in my colony itself, not less than 2 to 3 lakhs value of gets spoiled. But after 3 hours of time, Discom people came to the rescue operation and they have made it everything pakka. They are saying that some high voltages has come. So
Okay.
this accountability need to be transferred to Discom people, and the awareness should be carried out by us, by the technical people who did the work.
Very good. Very good point. Now I would like to explain what that floating neutral is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What happens? The neutral, there are two types of earthing and grounding. One is system grounding and second is the equipment grounding. When I say system grounding at DT level, distribution transformer level, the neutral of that transformer must be grounded solidly. If because of some reasons it becomes loose, during single phase to ground fault, the voltage of healthy phases, because the system becomes floating, it is not grounded, it is ungrounded for the time being. At the time of single phase to ground fault, that is called the SLG fault, the voltage of healthy phases become high. That is not 220 volt, that becomes equal to phase voltage of 3 volt, 3 phase. That means it is around 415 volt. All the gadgets
Yes.
connected in that houses in the building will burnt out because that can withstand up to 270 at most. And when it is receiving more than 400 volt, definitely it will damage. This is the reason of that over voltage because of the floating neutral. And for that, you are absolutely right. The distribution company is responsible and they have to make sure that in no case the neutral should become floated. That should be properly tightened.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now coming to next important point, the problem in houses because of improper coordinations of protection system we have. Any point from any participant here? Or ingress of moisture, dust in the gadgets you are using, outdated gadgets you are using also become the cause of catastrophic effects at your home. Any point how to avoid it? How to do the condition monitoring, how to keep our equipment in healthy state? Any point to be added by anyone can raise their hand. And I will request Ramdhani to unmute. Otherwise, Mesh Gupta ji, are you available right now? Okay. Akansha ma'am is here. Akansha ma'am, would you like to say something? How to avoid all these things? Kindly unmute and switch on your camera.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sorry, sir. Right now, I don't want to say anything because you must have proper knowledge about your topic. Then you should explain it. So this is my funda, right,
Okay.
sir? So it is much better than you can you should explain actually. Yeah, I would like to listen your views also.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, welcome. Mubarak Khan ji, are you available right now? I was talking about the outlived or outdated appliances at home. What happens usually, we send our faulty gadgets for repair. And when it's come back, we are not sure about the quality of that repair. And most of time, repaired or ill-repaired gadgets become the cause of fire or some electrocution at home. My request is you should be doubly insured whenever you get your equipment gadgets back from electrician. That must be checked for healthiness before you start using it at home. At the same time, you should look at the quality of code connected to that gadgets. You have to ensure about the material being replaced during repairing. That should be of same type, same rating. Apart from that, when it comes to use of illumination system, luminaries, you should be doubly ensured that the rating of luminaries fitting are same for which it is same as the luminary at the light LED light you are going to use. There should not be any kind of mismatch between the rating, voltage rating of two things. And you have to ensure that you have to avoid overheating, overcurrent. That can be easily done. With all these small steps, I'm quite sure we can ensure safety and ensure safety at home, and we can easily protect the lives of loved ones, our family members, and we can make people aware in our vicinity, in our friend circle, wherever we go. We have to sing the same song. And when you start singing the same song, after some time, they will listen some points and they will implement it. Now, last 10 minutes to finish that part 1 of open discussion series, and now time to invite my guru, mentor, respected Bhai Sahab.
Yes, are you getting me? Rajesh, are you getting me?
Yes.
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 Good evening, all of you, all my friends who are listening my voice, Rajesh. I think I must congratulate Rajesh for his relentless efforts day in, day out. So he's always thinking for a new thing, and he always talks like we should always have out of box thinking. I think the new series started by him in the context of that, with the background of the topic which is concerning all of us. And I must appreciate the friends who have joined this webinar, say open for open discussion, and their initiative. They're coming forward to talk on this very important subject as per initiative of Rajesh ji. The right beginning, I think I am picking up words of Rajesh ji, that basically we have to change the mindset. He used the word until unless we change our attitude, we change our mindset, we are not going to be successful, all of us. It's not that we are 40. Ultimately, this is the start. We have to take all our friends in the country along, because until unless we take everybody along, we cannot be successful. So he is right when he says that 1 lakh people, 1 lakh people, you see, they every year have to weep because of the electrical accident. The hem of affairs, we all engineers, we are working. And last time when I talked to him, Rajesh ji, I made a very humble request to Rajesh ji, kindly, wipe these tears off. At least seeing 1 lakh person getting added up, you see, for this major cause of problem. So we should all get together. We should keep on working. We should work hard. Become a team. And I quote always that if ISRO can reach moon, why? What is the deficiency in us? Why can't we reach also our objective? See the precision, the work, see exactly. This is basically a dedication. This is a mindset. This is a determination. The once we make determination that we want to achieve this target, we can reach. Coming to my friends made very good suggestions today and new suggestions. One of our friends, right, Mr. Anandi, started with a discussion. He's right to say that firstly we have to set our house in order. We have to see that all our engineers they get geared up, and if unless they are not geared up, how we expect there is a contractor, an engineer joining hands with him, and how can you expect that the work will be excellent and work will be according to the requirements, whether there are any regulation 2023, any regulation. So we are the commanders getting the work done. We have to take the command in our hands. That is something very first thing. What we talked is a mindset, as Mr. Rajesh said. Anand sir is very categorically said all officer we are responsible. He put the things exactly before us that it is our duty to see that the house is in order and accidents are avoided. And he has today raised the topic of L1 also. He is right in that context because until there is a system we are following. We most of the people they get trapped in that system. But I tell you, the brave ones they brush off L1 system also, like railways, like other areas where you are finding, you see, they try to brush up. I mean, I faced a problem during my tenure of working. See, there was L1.
Sir, you are muted. Sir, you are muted. Kindly unmute yourself.
Ah. Sorry, it was calling. So I inspected the previous works of that guy. Once I inspected the works, I could find is the work he has carried out. You see, L1 person, he's not up to the mark, whatever wherever he has worked. And I came back to CBIP. I talked to Mr. Kanjidia, was secretary. Sir, this is a project of 13 crore rupees, and once I give it to L1 who is already not doing a good job somewhere else, but how can I do it? So once you have a determination, then of course we plucked them out and gave the order to L2. I'm getting brief on that. But once you have determination, you have the ways to solve. Like you, Mr. Ramachandran Saab always quotes you the railways that they also were having the similar problem. Then one of their engineers, the level of superintendent engineer, he became determined. He finalized the specification. They made so severe checks. They did the job honestly during inspection and rejected the people whatsoever. So you are finding, see, their transformers, everything. You see, the trains are running, they are not stopping. So somebody has worked hard behind the scene. That is that. So coming to this, to the other questions, Rajesh ji initiated is about the protection, about the breakers we are using and various type of breakers we are having, earth leakage protection, or CD breakers, and other, you see, fire detection. They're good thing, but only thing is that we have to see that they are properly used in the system. See, nobody knows it also, and people don't are very categorically said by my friend that people even don't read, they do not know. We are left to the mercy of the contractor, whatever he guides, we bring that material and put it, you see, and subsequently there are faults and there are arcs and there are flashes. So we have to be. very careful in that in that context about protection. And the other question which Rajesh category has asked, that do we check the moisture entering into our carriers, or the old equipment which is getting repaired even checked, because the new motor of, let us say there is a new motor, we are sure, you see, it will work well, but sometimes the motor gets damaged because the moisture and all that, we get it repaired, it comes back, see, it's not up to the mark, the repair work. So we have to categorically see that when the motor comes back, very rightly told by Rajesh, that is perfect in every manner. I think this was their powerhouse, the generator. As you know, it's 165 megawatts, 6 generators at Deher powerhouse in BBMB. The nuts at the top cover were originally done up, I think, by BHEL. During the course of maintenance, there was some leakage. This is an example to be listened. Water started leaking, and new nuts got fabricated locally. Once the new nuts were provided, you see, you see, during maintenance, there was, and the powerhouse was, and the generator was commissioned. There was leakage of to this extent that the top cover got lifted. There was a flood. There was flood in the powerhouse. So it's just an example. So whatever you get it done from the market, see the metallurgy, the size of the wire used, the insulation being provided, the care. Because what normally I find is we give it to the mystery, and whatever he gives us back, we try to commission it. That's all. We have to be very cautious. And one more thing I'll add, you see exactly the distribution point to say the neutral is not getting properly installed by the workers. Workers are ignorant, contractors are ignorant. We have talked on this subject. Of course, we are talking about igniting our engineers as it is. Rajesh ji has started this mission of igniting engineers. Same time, we have to see that the people from whom we get the work done, electricians, they are also fully trained in the country. The contractors are trained. We don't get the work done from unscrupulous persons. So because those who are greedy for money only, we try to find a good person. So the things, they don't go the way they want. The things should go the way we want. As engineers, we have to protect our system. We have to avoid the accident. We have to avoid the fire. Now, I today morning itself gave 3 examples in our group. That was one example relates to the fire at Gurgaon taking place because of some spark in the air conditioner, where 7 Koreans were also trapped. Now see that air conditioner is there, it's irregular, it wants maintenance of when the summer season starts. Maybe the maintenance was not properly done, there was a spark inside, fire came up. Now see, foreigners are also involved, 7 foreigners, what they talk about my country, you see, going back to Korea. Yes, there was a fire, this happened, it gives us disrepute, and we really don't want, beside our problems in the country, you see, the wrong message goes to the number one. Number two, the second example was that there are tilted poles at Panchkula near. This is where I am staying at Panchkula, near to that. The tilted poles are there near to that sector, which was in the newspaper. Likewise, we have seen a photograph, you see, where the earth cutting and back pressure of earth is finished, there's a pole going to fall down. So all these areas, all people, we are the engineer in charge. After somebody is the engineer in charge, where the poles are tilted. So we have to be responsible. We have to see that all the jobs under our control, they are perfect. There is no likelihood happening of the accidents taking place. So it's good thing. I think we had plenty of discussions for about an hour as per initiative for Rajesh, and we see that we are in a position to reduce the number of accidents with our efforts. I'll request all of you with folded hands, all my friends listening, a very humble way, that let us join together, let us work together, because one death, I always say, it is too injurious and really makes a family weep all throughout their lives. So let us join hands. Let us try to work up. Not that you see during the conference, during the webinar, even out of the webinars, unscheduled your regiment, you can talk to Rajesh ji, give him more suggestions, keep on talking to him, so that you see exactly will help us push through our objective. And with that, all my best wishes and prayers to God that He takes care of our objective, and we are in a position to wipe off some tears as best as possible. Thank you, all of you, for your
Thank you, sir.
partnership.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
Rajesh.
wonderful suggestions and insightful talk. And
Yeah.
now, before we end, because we are going to stop the session number 1, open discussion on safety, and that will continue on with different topic with different experts. And before we leave, I request everyone to just take a pledge once again to make my nation, my India free of accidents. Just take a pledge for a minute.
Yeah.
I
I
take a pledge that
take a pledge that
I will
I
all the safety rules and regulations
safety rules and regulations
also make people whosoever comes in my contact
whosoever comes in my contact
about
about
importance of safety
importance of safety
and regulations,
and regulation,
and we will try our level best
and will try your level best
to make my nation, my India,
make my nation, my India,
my Bharat,
my Bharat,
free
yes,
of electrical accidents,
free of electrical accidents.
fires, and short circuits.
Oh,
Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone,
you.
for your participation. And we will meet again with new topic. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.